In this video, we're going to have a look at the difference between setting a task and a due work component on Chalk and why you would use either of those particular components. So to find these components, so here's my due work component and here's my task, click on the plus and they are in the learning menu. So there's the due work component, and there's the task. The one indicates that I've already added these components to my page. A task is very simply when you have some work that you want students to complete, but you are not going to formally assess on the Chalk component. It's a great option if you want to keep records of who's done their homework, for example. Have they previewed a video you asked them to do? Are they bringing their right equipment to class? To create a task, it's very simple. I just give that task a name. So let's call it homework. The task type helps when you're searching through your Markbook later on for particular types of tasks. So we'll just call that one homework. A description. You can be as thorough or as unthorough as you like. Maybe just the date is helpful there. The published date is the date that it will appear on the student's Chalk page. Now it will appear on your Chalk page as soon as you complete the setting of the task, but not on the student's page. And the due date is obviously the date that it is due. You can add a link or a file that you might want to attach. This box here allows students to self-assess. So you can have students self-assess that they've completed the work, and then you can go and check later on that they have. So then we create our task. Now, no students have completed this task, so I won't show you what it looks like, but let's check this task right here. View the status, and we can see that this student here has completed the task, and I have assessed that it's been done. Now, when a student self-assesses it, this box is orange, and when I come and tick it later on, it turns green. Now, a due work component is used when you have a piece of work that you want students to submit to Chalk and which you will formally assess. So this would be used for, say, an assessment task, an assignment, or a quiz function. So give it a title, and let's call it research paper. The work type will say this is an assessment task. Description here. Here is where I might attach the assessment guidelines for the task. This here allows students to submit on Chalk. So this is really important that you've ticked this. This allows them to make a formal submission. Depending whether you want single or multiple submissions, you click on that. Again, the published date is the date it will appear on the student's Chalk page. The open date is the date at which students can first start to submit work onto the Chalk page. Due date is obviously the date that it is due. And you may wish to have a late date, maybe to allow for students who may be away or for other special circumstances. The weighting of the task will depend on the type of task you're doing and where it contributes to a year-long assessment. Self-reflection is a great option. Now, if you tick self-reflection or self-reflection and self-assessment, after you have marked the task, students will not be able to see their mark, even when you release it, unless they complete their self-reflection. And it's a really good learning tool for students, and students can learn how to be reflective about the work they've done, and generally, they're very accurate. Now, mark visibility, I leave it to staff only. You can have staff and students, and then when you publish the work, it becomes visible, but I leave it to staff only so there's no mistakes. Once I've finished all my marking, I will then come through, and when I'm ready to release the marks to the students, change that to staff and students, and then the students will now be able to see their mark, not other students' mark, only their mark. The mark type, very self-explanatory right there, and click or unclick this is if you are going to add a marking rubric, and we'll look at marking rubrics later, and then tick create. So now this research paper has been set as a due work component. It's due tomorrow, and once work has been submitted, I'll be able to view the status and go through and start to mark students' work. Now this here is a mark book showing what your mark book would look like if you've been using the due work and the tasks component. These tasks students have completed and I've assessed has been done, and that's indicated by the green tick. These orange ones here are where students have assessed that they have completed the work, but I have not gone through and checked that this girl has done her work. She may have been away that day. These are ones that students have not assessed as being done. This is a mark from a due work component, and these of course are tasks, and the due work component, there's the mark. These marks have not been released to students yet. If I wish to, I click on that and instantly the mark is released to students. So that's a quick guide to how you use due works and tasks in Chalk.